Hello, my name's Andrew, and today we're doing a first impression review of the Jack Stillman MAD-13 wax canvas backpack. So a few weeks ago, I reviewed the Jack Stillman Ranger poncho, which is also wax canvas, and thus began my wax canvas obsession with outdoor gear. So I asked them for this backpack to test for you guys. And yeah, it's a really nice, super rugged pack that has kind of like a smaller size, but the magic to it is that it's got a fold down top right here. So they have all brass hardware, which is really durable. It wears very well. It develops kind of a patina over time, which is kind of cool. Gives it like an antique vibe. But anyways, the top rolls down. So this backpack essentially becomes twice as big as it looks when the top is rolled up. So when it's down, you almost have like a 3/4 backpack, you know? My old North Face is a little bit larger. This would be like a full-size backpack. So the thing that I like about this actually is that it sort of like sits higher up on your back because it's shorter. So I don't remember where I heard this, but at some point someone told me about hiking that it was good to have your backpack a little bit higher because it sort of keeps it over your center of gravity, versus if you have your backpack lower, it's kind of like pulling you backwards, which can pull on your shoulders and make them tired, which I've definitely experienced going on hikes and also walking twice a day to the grocery store, where I'll sometimes come back with like 15 pounds worth of groceries. But anyways, on the top fold, you've got a zipper here. It's a YKK zipper, so really nice durability, tag there. And then on the inside, you've got a big pocket right here. And it's kind of hard to show in there, but you've got a larger pocket for a laptop. And then on the other side, you've got 2 pockets there for a phone or water bottle or any other kind of stuff you want to put in there. But yeah, the hilarious thing is that like I was going on my morning walk and I went to the grocery store and I just wanted to see how much I could pack in there. So I got like watermelon and celery and ginger and fennel, just a bunch of stuff. And I show up at the self-checkout and there's a clerk there, and we like make eye contact as I pull this backpack out, and I had it folded down like this, right? So it looks really small. And then he's looking at me and he's looking at the backpack and he's looking at all the stuff I have, the watermelon especially, and he's like, how is this gonna work? And then I just like open up the top and his eye just go like, it kind of reminds me of that bag that Hermione has in Harry Potter. She has this like magic bag where she opens it up and then she can just like take a bunch of stuff out of there, like way more that can possibly fit in real life. But anyways, when I was going back, it was kind of full like this. You know, I had some celery, watermelon in the bottom, and there's some nice padding here on the back. It's not stiff, but it just gives you like enough padding where if you have something curved like a watermelon, it doesn't put any pressure on your back in an uncomfortable way. And then also because it was higher, some of the groceries are up here as well. It's kind of sitting almost like above my head. And like I said before, it just kind of felt like it was like centering it over my gravity. Whereas with my North Face pack, it kind of would like bulge out at the bottom, you know, like this. So all the weight would be down around my hips and there wouldn't be much up here. So it's just kind of like pulling me backwards, and then my shoulders would get really tired. But I walked all the way home with like 15 pounds worth of groceries and I just didn't get tired at all. In terms of convenience, it's like really fast to roll up and down and then just buckle here. One thing I did notice is that when there's nothing in the pack, like the buckle just jangles a little bit. So I don't know, maybe Jack Stillman could just put a little bit of padding here around the hardware. But when you have stuff in there, what happens is that it puts pressure on here, it expands so that you don't get that anymore. So it's not a big deal, but you know, something to note. On each side, you've got a zipper pocket, and these are really deep. You can put a wallet or a phone or anything in there, snacks. Same thing on the other side, really easy to pull, which is kind of nice because when you've got the backpack on, it's actually possible to reach around without taking the pack off and get your hand in here to grab the snack or, you know, map or whatever else you need. You put your phone in there. And then because it's wax canvas, it's very water resistant. And essentially, if you haven't had a wax canvas product before, how it works is that when the water comes and hits down here, it just kind of beads up on the surface. It doesn't really soak through. If you're in a heavier rain where it just keeps getting soaked and soaked and soaked, eventually it'll kind of penetrate the top area, but it won't come through until it just is really wet for a long time. I'm talking like hour or 2 hours. And at that point, it might start getting damp inside, but what happens is that because the wax slows down the water, the fabric gets saturated essentially, so it can't move through quickly. Like if you have a cotton shirt, you know, that soaks through immediately and then you start getting damp underneath, but all you get with wax canvas is just like a general dampness throughout it. And then because it's moving through slowly, it can kind of just like evaporate as it comes through, and then you never even really get wet. Also, like any other wax canvas product, if you want it to last longer and be more water resistant over time, you can just regularly treat it with any kind of natural beeswax. Jack Stillman sells some. It smells really, really nice. It smells like honey, and it's very simple to use. All you do is just rub it into the product. You can use a hair dryer to kind of warm up the fabric and the beeswax so it goes in there more. And so yeah, you're just gonna have a water resistant product for the rest of your life. But I also tried wearing the Jack Stillman Ranger poncho over it, which worked really well. And I do like that the wax canvas has a little more structure than a normal backpack, because it's just kind of a heavier weight. So it has more of a square shape to it, which I think looks cooler under a poncho. My regular North Face, again, it kind of like clumped up around my hips, so it accentuates that sort of like hunchback look with a poncho. Up front, you've got 2 brass loops for the straps to run around if you are someone that has a smaller chest and you want them a little bit tighter. One thing that I wish this backpack had, which I think is missing, is just a cross strap. You know, like if they added it here, that would really help cinch the straps together and take even more load off of your shoulders. What I did actually is I just took these and I either tied them together like this, or I just kind of like, if I wasn't carrying much weight, I just kind of like lightly crossed them and like tucked them under the straps. But yeah, Jack Stillman actually sells some accessories that you can buy for this. They have like a strap here that can kind of like button around these 3 loopholes on either side, so you can attach like a water bottle. And it seems like they could do something like that for the straps, you know, like if you had something that was holding here and then you could loop around with just like a button. Maybe there's multiple buttons for adjustment in terms of how close you wanted them together. But yeah, I think that would really help. Looking at the top of it, they've got this really nice hold handle, and because it's a smaller height backpack, if you're holding onto it, it kind of becomes like a little briefcase. On the bottom, there's a ton of reinforcement here, and then with the Jack Stillman logo there, which looks really cool, the leather panels. And overall, like this thing is just super rugged. There's really good stitching, lots of reinforcement, and then the canvas is really tough without being heavy. It's kind of weird, like I actually think that you could use this for a little bit of trail running. Like I wouldn't do an ultra marathon, something where you need to like maximize every single pound, you know, but because it sits higher up on your back, it's actually pretty fun to run around in. And finally, the crazy thing about this backpack, which I don't know, maybe that's why they call it the MAD-13, is that you can open it so high up that you can use this as like a backpacking pack. And then you can use it for casual, which I think adds a lot of versatility if you're someone who doesn't want to own multiple packs. All right, so that's my first impression review of the Jack Stillman MAD-13 backpack. But if you'd like to support the channel, you can shop with the referral links down below, or watch my Jack Stillman Ranger poncho review for a good rainy weather companion to the MAD-13. Finally, if you have a question about the Jack Stillman MAD-13 backpack or about sustainable apparel in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace.